We're back, and today we're talking about probably the first must-watch anime of winter 2025 anime season. Now, it's actually like third because honestly, you have to watch the Fate series, and no, you don't have to watch any of the other Fate series. So if you're worried about that, no, just go in and watch the Fate series that's airing right now. We gotta believe one episode came out this season, but there was one episode that came out last year. That was the epilogue. I think that's definitely one of the most must-watch anime of the season. And of course, Solo Leveling. I mean, it's super popular. Everybody's probably gonna be watching Solo Leveling. So those two for sure are a must-watch. But then with this episode that came out today, I would say that Zenshu definitely needs to be put on the map because as of right now, judging from episode 1, it was a top tier first episode. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about it. Zenshu follows main character Natsuko Hirose, who after graduating from high school started working as an animator, and due to her top tier talent, she quickly becomes an anime director. Now, following her huge success, she struggles to write her next storyboard for her next anime movie, and due to some food poisoning, she gets isekai'd to her favorite anime called A Tale of Perishing. Now, this favorite anime of hers is a movie that essentially flopped in the industry because it was one of those anime movies that's depressing. A lot of people really didn't like the fact that some of the main characters were really dying left and right. It's a really gruesome, messed up world because essentially A Tale of Perishing takes place in a world where void monsters are invading the world and destroying all the cities and essentially just taking over the world, and a group of heroes set out to save the world. But I'm guessing because of the name of the movie and how everybody was, talking about how the movie is really depressing and all that stuff, that they really don't make it. Now, she gets isekai'd into this world, and I'm guessing this is where her plot kind of breaks out in order to either save the world, change the events of the movie, or maybe even learn a life lesson. Now, that's just a quick synopsis. I really don't want to spoil too much because by the end of the first episode, I think you're going to be in love with not only just the main character, but just like the plot that they're setting out, right? Because we're still dealing with a lot of stuff from not only her reality, but also this isekai world where essentially she can either save her new world that she's going to be living in with her favorite anime characters, or she's going to return back to her real world and deal with the issues that she had back home. Because again, due to her talent and everybody expecting great things from her at a young age, she has a lot of pressure under her, right? So maybe this whole journey is going to help her essentially get over her like writer's block or storyboard block. But that's essentially what the anime is about. Now, Zenshu is an anime original, meaning there is no manga or light novels or any other source material that would, that people would know what the story is going to be about, what's going to happen next. Everybody is kind of like on the same playing field. And also this anime is being made, and you can probably guess because it's the studio that's making like 99% of all anime right now, Studio Mappa, which is, Studio Mappa, they do some top tier shows. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, Vinland Saga, they do everything, right? So they definitely have a great studio behind this anime, but it's kind of ironic and funny that, this anime has to do with, an animator struggling with her work because, meeting deadlines because of the heavy pressure that she has to deliver like a top tier quality movie. And, Studio Mappa, they're no strangers to some controversy due to, animators being overworked because, again, they have a lot of projects and what they deliver usually tends to be some top tier shows, right? Like Studio Mappa, they're on the map as one of the best anime studios, but it kind of sucks that with that connotation of being a top tier studio, they're also are associated with some overwork issues, right? And maybe AI could help with this. I know some people, they don't like AI, but that's a whole other video, a whole other topic. I actually made a video on that, but I digress, right? Because so right now, Zenshu is great. Now, it also deals with another issue that I have seen a lot of anime fans talk about, that they essentially refuse to watch a show that has a female protagonist. And that to me is absurd. Like, sure, I can kind of understand the argument to some sense, like, oh, I can't relate to the character because, it's a female, blah, blah, blah. I think it's just nonsense because imagine missing out, and I'm going to tell you right now, anime of the year is going to be Frieren Beyond Journey's End. It's definitely one of the best anime ever, and it's definitely one of the best anime in the last decade. Without, you cannot argue that, right? And if people refuse to watch that anime because of a main female character, that's just crazy, right? Now, it's in the same boat with Zenshu, right? At least from episode 1, it was a very top tier episode. It definitely has a lot of potential. I'm not saying it's going to be as good as Frieren, because Frieren is one of those 0.1% of anime. But, you know, it has potential, right? It has potential to be a great show. And it just kind of sucks that some people are going to miss out just because they're not even willing to give it a chance because of a female protagonist. Again, absolutely absurd. Now, like I said, this is definitely one of the must-watch anime of the season. Of course, Fate and Solo Leveling are there, but I'm talking about more like one of the first anime originals, right? Like one anime that's premiering this season, because we are getting a lot of sequels this season, and those, of course, are must-watch, especially if you like those anime. But to kind of give you a perspective as to what I've seen this anime season, I mean, here's all the anime that have came out so far. Now, I have seen this Bahaneko. Yeah, this is just absurd, absolutely wild. Probably gonna drop it. I have seen, this is not an isekai, it's a fantasy anime. I'm gonna give it the 3-episode rule, but from episode 1, again, it wasn't that great. Now, next we have this, possibly the greatest alchemist. I've seen it. Again, it's very generic, right? It doesn't really get me excited for the next episode, not unlike Zenshu. Now, here's one that I would say definitely has some potential. It's an isekai. I'm an isekai lover. This is more about, you know, somebody getting isekai to become essentially a negotiator for like the Demon King. I have seen some other anime, a couple from here. Like I've seen this one, Grisala Phantom Trigger. Really couldn't get into it. I've seen this Momentary Lily. Yeah. Just the way it looks, like the animation is cool, but it mixes like CGI and real world stuff. Yeah, I couldn't get into that. There's still plenty of anime that are coming out this season. There's still plenty of anime that are, you know, have potential to be very, very good. And of course, we got the sequels like the Apothecary Diary that I'm really excited for. Of course, Dr. Stone. But, you know, those are sequels. So yeah, I'm still, you know, trying to watch as much anime as I can every season, but like every other season, I always end up dropping like 90%. But as of right now, for sure, I am watching 3 shows. The Fate series that aired this season, Solo Leveling, and now Zenshu. Those are my must-watch right now. We're going to see what happens later on. But let me know what you're currently watching. Let me know what your favorite anime right now is. And if you're going to be watching Zenshu or you already seen it, please let me know in the comments down below what you think, because that's the whole point of this video, right? Discussing anime and what you think of all these different episodes. But like always, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace out.